All right, today we are jumping into a story that seriously has it all. We're talking love at first sight, an incredible feat of strength, a jaw-dropping betrayal, and the start of a family drama that would literally shape history. This is the story of Jacob, Rachel, and Leah, and a deal that ended up costing way more than anyone ever bargained for. So let me ask you this. What would you be willing to trade for the person you love? It's a question that's right at the heart of this ancient story. For a guy named Jacob, the answer was, well, it was pretty much everything. Let's get into exactly how this wild, high-stakes bargain went down. Okay, Act 1. Our story kicks off, as so many great ones do, with a long journey and a chance meeting at a dusty old well. Jacob is on the run, and he is about to walk straight into his destiny. So, picture this. Our story opens with Jacob. He's totally exhausted from his trip, and he finally makes it to the land where his mother's people are from. He spots a well, the central hub for the whole community, but it's sealed shut with this massive, heavy stone. There are just flocks of sheep hanging around, waiting. And this isn't just any old rock. It's so big that it takes all the local shepherds pushing together to even get it to move. It's a symbol of community, yeah, but it's also a major obstacle. Now things start happening really fast. Jacob strikes up a conversation. My brothers, where are you from? They tell him, we're from Haran. This is it. This is the place he's been looking for. So he pushes a little further. Do you know a man named Laban? Yep, we know him. And then, in this moment of just perfect, almost unbelievable timing, they point and say, and look, here comes his daughter, Rachel, with the sheep. And this, right here, is the turning point. Rachel arrives with her father's flock. The second Jacob sees her, something just clicks. That stone, the one that usually takes a whole crew of guys to move, Jacob, just filled with this rush of what you can only call love-fueled adrenaline, walks right up and rolls it away all by himself. Then he waters her flock. I mean, talk about a heroic first impression. He's sending a very clear message. And then the emotion just comes pouring out. After this incredible show of strength, Jacob goes over to Rachel, kisses her, and just completely breaks down, weeping. You have to imagine the relief that's flooding through him. He's been on this long, dangerous journey running from his angry brother, and in this single moment, he's found his family, his future, and a safe place to land. He tells her who he is, her cousin, and she immediately takes off running to tell her father. When Laban gets the news, he doesn't just walk, he runs to meet Jacob, embraces him, the whole thing. After Jacob tells him his story, Laban says these really powerful words. Surely you are my bone and my flesh. It's the ultimate welcome. Jacob ends up staying for a month, and for a little while, it really seems like he's finally found a home. But that warm welcome is about to turn into a business negotiation. This is where the story pivots, building towards that central conflict, a high-stakes bargain for love. So here's the crucial setup. Laban has two daughters. Leah, the older one, is described as having delicate eyes, which a lot of folks interpret as meaning they were weak, or maybe they just didn't have that sparkle. But Rachel, the younger daughter, was an absolute stunner, beautiful of form and appearance. And Jacob, well, from the moment he saw her at the well, he only had eyes for Rachel. And this is where the offer comes in. Laban asks Jacob what he wants for his wages, and Jacob, just completely smitten, makes his move. He doesn't ask for money, he doesn't ask for livestock. He says, I will serve you 7 years for Rachel, your younger daughter. 7 years of hard labor, all in exchange for marriage. Now, this is one of the most romantic lines in this entire story. Those 7 long years of work felt like just a few days to Jacob. And why? Because his love for Rachel was just that powerful. It made all that time and all that labor feel like nothing. He had his eyes on the prize. The 7 years are finally over. Jacob goes to Laban and says, my time is up. Give me my wife. So Laban throws a huge feast for the whole town. Everything seems like it's going just as planned. But then, as night falls, under the cover of darkness and wedding veils, Laban brings his daughter to Jacob's tent. You gotta notice the vague, kind of ominous wording there. And here it is. The moment of pure shock. In the morning light, Jacob looks at the woman beside him, and it's not Rachel. It's Leah. 7 years of labor, his entire future, all of it just came crashing down in this single, gut-wrenching moment of betrayal. Jacob's reaction is exactly what you'd expect. Just pure outrage. He storms out to Laban and confronts him. You can feel the anger and the heartbreak in his words. What have you done to me? I served you for Rachel. Why have you deceived me? Laban's response is just infuriatingly calm. He claims it's all a matter of local custom. It's not our practice, he says, to marry off the younger daughter before the firstborn. It's an excuse that feels paper thin, something he conveniently forgot to mention for the past 7 years. So Laban lays out a new, cruel deal. He tells Jacob to finish the week-long wedding celebration with Leah. After that, he can marry Rachel too, but it'll cost him another 7 years of labor. Jacob, he's trapped, and he's still desperately in love, so he agrees. The price for Rachel has just doubled to 14 years. Now the story shifts. The deception is done, but the consequences are really just beginning. The focus now turns to Leah, the unloved wife, and her desperate hope for some kind of affection. A new, tragic dynamic is set up. The text says it plainly. Jacob loved Rachel more than Leah, but seeing that Leah was unloved, there's this divine intervention. Leah is able to have children, while Rachel, the beloved wife, is barren. This one act of pity just sets the stage for a painful, lifelong rivalry between the two sisters. These next few verses are like a window straight into Leah's heart. She gives birth to 4 sons, and the name of each one tells a story of her suffering and her hope. Reuben means he has seen my affliction. Simeon means he has heard I am unloved. With Levi, she's still hoping out loud. Now this time my husband will become attached to me. But by the time she has her 4th son, Judah, something changes. She stops trying to win her husband's love and just says, "This time I will praise the Lord." And the chapter ends on this quiet, really poignant note. After the birth of Judah, after her emotional shift from desperation to praise, the text simply says, then she stopped bearing. It's a pause, a moment of stillness in a life that has been just filled with emotional turmoil. And all of that leaves us with a critical question. This family, the one that's going to become the 12 tribes of Israel, is born from deception, favoritism, and so much pain. It forces us to ask, can something truly great and blessed emerge from a beginning that's so broken and complicated? The rest of their story is basically an attempt to answer that very question.